Studio Kanalımıza. We are in the Studio Sahil's space in London next to Angel Station, and I've been in the studio space nearly a year. Before that I was in the same building but upstairs in a smaller unit. This used to be this building's shop space. When it became available, I decided to move in here and do a little bit of a makeover, which you will see also behind the scenes. These are some of the statement items from our collection and they are in the window. It changes time to time, and I would like to talk about two of the latest pieces. This one is the Snæfellsnes vessel, and it's with Icelandic sand from Snæfellsnes Peninsula, which is a national park, and the glacier from there is part of the Jules Verne's to the center of the earth. It is melting, unfortunately, due to the climate change. I wanted to combine the historical, cultural and natural significance of that space in a vessel, and I displayed this one in Venice Glass Week in the past years. And this one is fairly new, and you can see this has again the sand from Iceland. It's a volcanic sand that has natural glass in it, but also it contains the ash from Eyjafjallajökull, which is the volcano that erupted in 2010 and blocked all the air traffic. I don't know if you remember that. An experimental piece to combine ash, sand with glass, and normally these materials are considered contamination, impurities, but I wanted to do my spin of experimentation, how they would result in different patterns and textures. The other pieces you see in the back are also with sand, but they are sands from Turkey and different parts of the world, and they each result in different patterns and textures. And I'm also able to control how the texture results, so it's either in between two layers of glass or you would be on the outside on the surface, and using different glass techniques such as inkalma or encasing, I will be able to control where the sand is going to be applied on the surface. So our main display shelf, where you see most of the Studio Sahil items that are currently also on our online store, and this is also a chance for people to come and see the pieces in person. We have some test pieces like this one, which is the prototype mold for this glass. These are made with old train tracks in Istanbul. The story behind this is I needed wood molds to make the pieces in glass because you can cast them in plaster and create a mold, and also just see the full-scale three-dimensionality of this. However, not enough wood in the workshop, and we decided to use the available train tracks to make the prototypes, and it's been like 7 years. They still smell a little bit like the diesel or whatever the gasoline that they contained. Other pieces that I would like to talk is this cake stand, which is our latest and one of the popular items, that you can have a cake display on one side, have snacks in the middle or a hummus in the middle, and have vegetables around it. In London, most people don't have a lot of kitchen space, but also if you're having something out on display, and even not when it's in use, you have something that looks elegant and that blends in with the space you live in. Confetti bowl, which is one of my favorites. It's a double wall bowl similar to this. It has beautiful colors in it, so it just makes me happy and cheerful about the color combination it has. These are some older pieces and still one of my favorites. They are made with a Turkish glass blowing technique. So this is called filigrana, which is a Venetian glass technique. It is a very advanced technique. The Turkish glass blowers adapted this technique in the late 18th century. Then they adapted into Çeşme Bülbül technique. These pieces are celebrating the Çeşme Bülbül technique in combination with inkalma. Inkalma is when you have two separate pieces, equal temperature, equal wall thickness, and they're sort of merged in the center together. So this was a complicated piece. It's called Idyllic Summer Collection. It also has a bowl, so this is the small size. What is nice about them is it's also a reminder of idyllic summer moments on the Aegean coast and the Mediterranean Sea. Colors are inspired from where also Studio Sahil takes inspiration: seaside, coasts and natural formations. Here we have Studio Sahil accessories. While during the pandemic we weren't able to make glass pieces, we decided to also do some accessories to expand our product range, make something that's easy to ship on our online store. These are the silk scarves with matching dog bandanas. Floki can model for you later. This is the wool one, which is inspired from the great listed St. Pancras building. So the tiles and the colors are the main inspiration for this scarf. And while people come and visit the studio, this is a little display shelf to show people and let them try on and check themselves out on the mirror. We have 3 vessels designed and generated with the AI tool DALL-E. This was for the Venice Glass Week 2023. I used DALL-E to generate multiple images, submitted them to my exhibition proposal. So I wrote, this is called Imposter Vessel because you will see the final glass piece at the exhibition. The reason for that is I wanted to show the gap, but also emerging technology tools in creativity, but also understanding craft techniques. DALL-E doesn't understand how glass blowing works, but it understands what a vessel is, but it makes its own interpretation. So for example, this one, even though I wrote vase, it's closed on top because that's what the image was. And they were quite complicated to make because we wanted to make the pieces as close to the AI images. It took multiple tries to get the result we wanted. This vase was in Venice Glass Week. These 2, they're still in our portfolio and we continue to show them at the studio. And I want to talk about these images a little bit as well. So I do gouache, but also digital illustrations, and some of the scarves are based on these illustrations, but also helps me to think about color, patterns, and creative other skills. And this one is for Lexus Design Awards. So I did desert sun infused glass tiles and desert sun infused ceramic tiles. Since desert sand is formed by wind instead of water, the structure of that sand is different and it's an abundant material that has the potential to use in multiple fields. And I wanted to show that interior use of different tiles that could be decorative but also create a texture that connects people to the nature. This is like a little behind the scenes of one of the vases in making, and this is just like illustrations and ideation. I've also just talked about briefly about our books in the studio and some of our like little bar setup. Since it's a studio, it's an everyday workspace for me where I keep some of the most essential books, such as this amazing book, Manufacturing Processes. And then the other one I really like is the Forma Fantasma's exhibition book, Cambio, about wood industry. And this is an incredibly good catalog with multiple interviews, people who are involved in the wood and timber industry. Digital by Design is more about speculative design, written by Troika. Troika is Pastor RCA alumni, and they were in Interaction Design, which is a program that no longer exists. This is an incredible archival book about technology and digital design when it was in its emerging stage. My other 2 favorites is New Glass Review, a journal about glass that is annually released by Konya Museum of Glass. My other favorite book is Botanical Illustrations from Life by Işık Güner. This is also in English and Turkish. It's a step-by-step guide in how to illustrate plants in an accurate, full-scale way for scientific illustrations. I love this book, how descriptive it is and how thorough it is. And let's talk about the workspace. So Floki comes to studio every day with me, and he's making sure the security of the studio is all good. Computer setup is I work with 2 screens, one with the laptop and the large monitor. The reason for that is sometimes when modeling or working on video editing, it makes it easier, but also just when I have to do large Excel sheets, it helps to just see everything at the same time. Here now we have the studio 3D model. When I moved into this space, I 3D modeled, measured all the walls. Our intern also helped us to get these measurements. You can see that even the frames are measured to size, and I created layout on where the shelves will go, plinths will go, desks, and some of the other details in the space. This helps to play around with the space because we also did London Design Festival in 2024 with 3 other designers. And we had to rearrange the space, take out all the furniture and make it more like a gallery setup. And we used this model to plan everything ahead and then just do it in 3 days, set up everything very efficiently. Everyone had an idea of where their display is gonna go, where their objects will go. We did all the graphics together, and this was a good collaboration. Please do my ideation phase or drawing the ideas on the computer. Usually it starts with a couple coloring pencils. I have these Karandash Luminance, these are really nice. I have the Prismacolor that I've been using for a long time, and it has like a range of different colors. And this is also easy to carry back and forth to home and back. I have 2 carry size sketchbooks. This is more for notes, and this is more as drawing for fun, drawing different ideas. You can see some of the new collection ideas here. I don't want to reveal too much because new year, new projects. And then there's like a bigger pad for just illustrations and drawings. So this is sometimes just drawing different ideas. The one tool I use the most, I would say, is the measure tape. If I'm doing gloss products or larger installation projects, such as the Heart Hotel Shoreditch one, which is permanently on display over there. Just getting an overall sense of scale and proportion. I use different rulers very often. These are our packaging boxes, 25 by 25 centimeters. There's also one size smaller, 20 by 20. They look very similar. When you buy a Studio Sahil glass product, usually it will be packaged in this box. If it's a collectible item that's oversized, it will be packaged differently, but these are for the main collection items. This is meant to keep the glass safe with lots of padding inside. We shipped these boxes to United States, to different parts of the world, and usually it arrives safely, insured and tracked. The packaging contains our monogram, logo, and a little bit of gold embossing on top. And in the back there's a description of what Studio Sahil is about. The packaging has been designed by Deniz Otamışlıgil. He also did the brand voice and brand identity, and I've been very happy about how everything came together because it really represents our vision and also what we want to convey in our studio practice. And here you can see our little business cards. The monogram is the shape of our Cappadocia jewelry, and also it looks like an abstract form of a bay because Sahil means coast in Turkish. This is a brand that evolves with time, and it can bring different opportunities and projects together, and as the coasts shape over time, our studio will also change and evolve. I really like the logo because I applied this on the scarves, on the packaging, and it just ties everything together. And in the back there's just the business details. These are the postcards we did for Lexus Design Award, but I still continue to use similar formats with different images. And in the back there is a little studio information, contact information, logo. This is like a nice size to help people remember about the studio. And when we ship our products, we have these little note cards, which I really like. Is just to write something a bit more personal. If you're gifting something to someone, you can write your own message. This is just additional stationery. And when we do the jewelry boxes, they're smaller in square. We use these stickers. Here they are. These are for handmade glass products. So all of our glass products will have a clear sticker. And then we have these larger ones, which we put on the jewelry boxes, and we also put it on some of our other packaging, for example the A5 envelopes for the scarves. So that's all the stationery. I believe we're coming to the end of our studio tour. I will also share some of the behind the scenes footage of how the space has transformed. We repainted everything with Ingimar, and I got some help as well. Floors are the original floors. I didn't want to touch them. It's a building that's, I think it's listed, so I wasn't allowed to do too much to the space. I like the original flooring, that it has its own character to it, and all the furniture is from upstairs from the previous studio, and the plinths that I bought for the London Design Festival 2022 solo show, so I kept the plinths I had and just brought them here. It has been just a nice, good studio space to host people, do events and hold meetings. And also when I need to do photo shoots, oh I just forgot about it. This is the light kit. because I also do all the glass photography and video usually here. I would move these tables a bit more here, use magnets to put backdrops to my lighting setup, and it can stay like that for a couple days if I'm doing continuous photographs. This just gives me enough space to do different tasks in the same space. Thanks for visiting the studio. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would like to meet in person if we get this opportunity in the future.